Hey guys, welcome back. Today is Sunday, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a coil build. It's going to be a tutorial on how to do the build that I've been using in my videos so far. It's twisted 28 gauge kanthal macro coil, and I got to give a shout out to Rip Trippers because he's the one that I watch most often, and he got me into trying the twisted kanthal builds. So anyway, shout out to you, Rip Trippers. Thank you very much for helping me out with my coil builds so far. But anyway, so this is the build I have in there now. It's reading 1.4 ohms. It's twisted 28 gauge kanthal. It's a macro coil, and it's I think about 10 wraps, somewhere around there. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how to build it. Another thing about this coil build that I forgot to mention is that if you're going to be doing this coil build, I suggest you use an RDA that has single coil mode. Like I said, since I'm doing a shout out to Rip Trippers, the reason why I'm doing that mainly is because I'm not going to be able to show you how to twist the kanthal since the rest of my 28 gauge kanthal is already twisted. I don't have any more that's not. So if you want to know how to actually twist the kanthal, go over to Rip Tripper's channel and check it out. He has a couple of videos where he shows how to twist the kanthal together. Alright guys, so once you get your kanthal all twisted together, this is going to be the next step. I suggest cutting it probably at about 6 to 8 inches. I'm just going to use this whole piece and then cut off the extra. I just find it easier that way. It's better to have more than not enough. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this 3mm screwdriver. Sorry, my phone's being dumb. Take this 3mm screwdriver and start making the wraps. So I'm going to put the lead right up against the collar of the screwdriver, hold it with my thumb, leave about 1.5 to 2 inches down below, and start wrapping, keeping the wraps as close together as I can. So that's one. I'm going to do 12 wraps. 2, 3, 11, 12, and pull it tight. Now, it's a little springy still. It just came undone once, so pull a little further than you think to get it to stay. Alright, it's about right there. Now, squeeze the coils together. And that's what it looks like before we heat it up. Now, I'm going to trim. I'm going to make this long lead. I'm going to keep it and make it the long lead still. About like that. Trim that off. Now I'm going to install it in the RDA. Now, since I still have the RDA on the box mod, I do have the battery off. So, definitely a good idea to turn the battery off before you install any coil build if you have it on your device still. So, I'm just going to insert this in these leads. I'm going to insert the long one into the positive post, just like that, and insert the shorter one in the negative post. Leave about that much room right there, and then tighten up your posts. With twisted 28 gauge kanthal, you don't really have to worry too much about snapping the leads off if you tighten it too much. I mean, I guess it could still happen, but it hasn't happened to me yet. So anyway, now that I got my coil in there and I got it all tightened up, I'm just going to push it over towards the center. So that way I know it's not going to be touching the walls of the RDA. So about like that. Now, I'm going to turn my device on and check the ohm reading. I'll show you what it looks like before we scrunch them up. It's not burning real even. So I'm going to pulse it, and then I'm going to squeeze it together. Then I'm going to pulse it again, squeeze it together. Make sure you don't have the button pushed when you touch it with the tweezers. But anyway, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm pulsing it. the inside out. Just like that. Now, what I do to trim these leads, I just trim it at the top of the post. Like that. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys how to wick this. Now I'm just going to twist the end together. Like that. And insert it in the RDA. Once I get it through the other side, pull it through. What I usually do is now I'll twist this over here, like just outside the RDA like this. Twist it together. So that way it's easier to cut. Just clip that. And then I'll fluff the end out again and pull it through a little bit more. About like that. And then on the other side is usually thinner, so it's easier to cut the lead or cut the wick. I'm going to twist it a little bit though and trim that. The next step is to tuck this wick down in there. So I usually take this side and tuck it up under there. There we go. See how we got some light under there? Just like that. And then the other side, I'll generally take up and kind of just stuff it on top of the posts. Like that. So that way, when I drip on there, I just drip around the top, or the one on top of the post. And then any extra liquid that it gets on the deck can be absorbed by the wick that's on the bottom. And the juice I'm going to be using for this is from magicalmist.com. It's called Summer Storm. And I'm just going to soak this wick. There. Now that she's all saturated, what I usually double check is that my ohm reading is the same with the top cap off and with the top cap on. If it's not, that means you have a short in there somewhere. So it's reading the same for me. So I'm just going to vape on it. And that's at 30 watts. I'm going to put it up to 40 watts for you guys. So at 30 watts, the flavor and the warmth of the vape and the density is good. But at 40 watts, it's even better. The flavor is increased dramatically. And I'm going to turn it up to 50 watts. So yeah, guys, that's my twisted 20 gauge kanthal build, and guess what? It came down to 1.3 ohms, just like my last one did. So yeah, 12 wraps around a 3mm drill bit or screwdriver worked just fine. Look at that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please comment and subscribe.